Hello there. If you're watching this video, chances are you've been diagnosed with cancer or one of your loved ones has. Uh, I can understand that this can be a very, very difficult and trying time, and all the information that's been given to you can be super overwhelming. So my name is Dr. C. I'm a board-certified radiation oncologist. That's a doctor who treats cancer with x-rays. And I've designed a series of videos to try to make it a little bit more easy to understand in shorter segments, spoken in plain English, so they can be rewound and watched again as you need to. Keep in mind that all these videos are for educational purposes only and are general in nature and aren't meant to diagnose your specific illness or to recommend any treatments. If you want to ask specific questions, you should certainly ask your personal doctor about these things. So let's get started with today's video. Today I'd like to start at the beginning. What exactly is cancer? Well, cancer is basically one of your body's normal cells that has gone haywire. A part of the DNA or blueprint of that cell has been changed for one reason or another. Sometimes it's because of exposure to radiation. Sometimes it could be exposure to chemicals. Sometimes hormones can do these things. Sometimes we don't know why these changes happen. At any rate, basically when the DNA is changed or mutated, usually what happens is the cells die. But sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're changed in places that turn the cell into a cancer cell and give the cancer cell function that normal cells don't have. They can sometimes keep on growing and growing and growing and not stop at their neighbor's doorstep, invading into their neighbor's space and causing havoc. Sometimes they can gain the ability to break off and go through the bloodstream and go to other parts of the body. These are things that cancer cells do that normal cells don't. Normal cells like to stop at their neighbor's doorstep, respecting their neighbors, and they want to stay in the right place. And so that's what is different between a cancer cell and a normal cell. When I think of cancer, I don't think of it as one disease. A lot of people say they hear cancer as a word and they think, oh no, this is one disease that's fatal. That's not the way I think of it, because cancer is your normal body cells turned into cancer cells that can do things that your normal body cells don't. It really depends on which body cells these cancers come from. So I think of it as a family of diseases. Sometimes, cancer cells commonly can arise from the breast, or the prostate, or the lung. These cancers behave differently. Some cancers can be very, very aggressive and are hard to treat. Other cancers are fairly well behaved. And even some cancers, we don't even need to treat them. We can just watch them and they usually will not be fatal. So it's kind of like when we talk about infections. Some infections, like a common cold, are typically, you don't need to treat them. You feel a little bit bad for a little while, and then you get over it. Your immune system takes over and cleans it all up, and you don't have to worry about it. Some infections are really, really fatal, and some infections are in between. And so same thing goes for cancer. Not that cancer is contagious or anything like that, but cancers vary widely between really aggressive cancers, which a lot of cancers are, and some cancers that are much, much more well behaved. Cancers are named for the body parts where the cells that produce the cancers are from. So let's say a cancer cell comes from a cell inside the breast that has gone haywire. This is then called a breast cancer. Same goes for a cell in the prostate that has gone haywire. The DNA has been mutated and becomes a cancer cell. That's a prostate cancer. And so therefore, the cancer is named for the cells from the organ they arise in, not where the cancer lands. So let's say a breast cancer cell sometimes can break off and land in the bone. We don't call that a bone cancer, we call that a cancer that has metastasized or spread through the bloodstream and landed in the bone. So it's a breast cancer that has metastasized to the bone. This is important because the site of where the cancer came from really is important in what kind of treatments, especially drug treatments or chemotherapy or other targeted agents, really is important in determining what treatments that we give for that specific type of cancer. And so again, metastasizing or metastasis means that the cancer has either spread through the bloodstream and landed in another organ, such as the bone, the brain, the lung, or the liver, and they can land in other organs, or it's spread through the lymph system into one of the lymph nodes. Lymph nodes are basically filters for your body that help your body fight off infection. But sometimes what can happen is a cancer cell can break off, go through some of these lymph channels, gets lodged into these lymph nodes, those little filters, and start to grow. And that's what's called a lymph node metastases. So again, cancers are named for the organ or the organ system that they start in and not where they necessarily are at a given point in time. Sometimes we don't even know where the cancer is from, and that's called a cancer of unknown primary. If, let's say, we find a cancer that is spread to the liver, and we take a piece of that cancer and look under the microscope, we may be able to tell under the microscope what it is, where it's from, but sometimes we can't. So that's when we call it a cancer of unknown primary. I hope this video has been useful. If you did find it useful, please hit the like and the subscribe button, so that will help me be able to produce some more of this content so that it's in plain English that we can all sort of understand at our own pace.